Yes, you are correct when you read about that number. I spent $18,000 to attend an online business focused mastermind. And well, you're probably thinking, what the hell did I learn if I paid $18,000 for 3 days? And that's exactly what I'm going to tell you in this video. I'm going to go through the top 5 things that I learned whilst attending this mastermind, which pretty much changed my outview on so many things in business, completely destroyed some limiting beliefs that I had. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get straight into it, and I'm going to tell you here straight away. I'm going to tell you 5 golden nuggets of knowledge that I learned from this mastermind. So they're absolute things that could potentially earn you millions of dollars in the future if you apply this to your business. And yeah, I've seen this happen to some of the guys in there, and they've not stopped singing their praises about William and the mastermind, and I can vouch for that as well. So pay attention, because this is going to be very interesting and lots of valuable information for you guys. Well, just a bit of context. Here we are. This is me here. This is where we kind of did the mastermind. It was in this in the Address Beach Resort in Dubai, on the conference rooms, which was absolutely fantastic. Super high quality business environment, very good food, just everything was perfect, really. The great a perfect situation, perfect environment to do a mastermind in. A few of the guys that were here, these are all guys doing absolute huge numbers in online business, and you're obviously going to recognize this guy, the man himself, Mike Thurston. It was a pleasure to listen to him speak, but I made some amazing friends of all the people on this mastermind, and we'll definitely be staying in contact with lots of them. So yeah, it was a great opportunity to meet and network with these people in this very close-knit, tight environment. So point number 1. Have a monthly recurring revenue model is absolutely essential nowadays. So what this means is, if you've got a product such as my business, where you are dealing with one-time purchase customers most of the time, it's very, very difficult to scale to huge, consistent monthly numbers. And the reason is that if you don't have an MLR, you're not only searching for new business every month to maintain income or to grow, you're eventually going to burn through your market, bringing forward the end of your course lifetime. So in specifics for your course, for example, there's only a certain amount of people in the world that are going to buy it without you innovating, without you trying, etc. So if you don't have a monthly recurring revenue model, you're always going to be searching for that new business, which can in turn drive costs up because you've been paying paid ads, etc. And now if you have the MRR model on the back end of this course business, then it's much easier to maintain income on the long-term trajectory. So it can also mean that you can build a business that can eventually be sold via an exit, and that's extremely important, because you don't always, not everybody wants to be in that business for the whole lifetime. They want to either make an exit within 5-10 years, and that can lead to a good, nice payout at the end of it. So if you don't have the MRR, it's very difficult to, well, it's not difficult, it's just a different situation. You know, it means that there's a much more consistent income. And some of the examples that were pointed out in the mastermind were the $500 to $995 low ticket upfront price, and then £99 a month for community aspect. And this is what Hamza is actually running now with Adonis Academy. So that was one of the things that was mentioned. So that means you can generate consistent monthly income month to month without having to search new business, because you've already got customers that are paying. And with those kind of that number, if you've got a high volume, you can actually rack up real big monthly revenue. And actually, when you think about it, that aspect means, let's go back, that you are generating income from a lesser invested point of view, in terms of you've already paid for the customer in your ad spend. Now that they're spending, the upkeep or the maintenance of that, such as a community manager or community aspect, is much lower than trying to get the customer in the first place. So your margins is a lot higher. Again, here's some photos in between each slide. Mike Thurston giving his talk on YouTube, so I thought it'd be appropriate to list some of the things that he said as well. Now, this comes down to whenever you're planning or producing content. So you must always consider intent versus disruptive content. And let me just explain this on the slide first, and I'll give you my breakdown of what I understood from this. So intent, that means that you're searching, or the customer or person is searching for a certain subject on YouTube, i.e. someone's interested in learning about AI, which means they will search for AI related content on YouTube, and therefore they have intent on the subject. Maybe that's how you've ended up on my video and you're watching this now. You know, you had intent, you wanted to learn something about masterminds, or you found this video through a person that has shared it on, I don't know how to explain it. If you had intent to come and see this video, or you had intent on the subject that you were searching for. So disruptive, so that's kind of a bit different because you might not have known about it. So did you know, i.e. Instagram ads. So it means that you're manufacturing intent which leads them to finding out more. So someone's scrolling, for example, someone's scrolling on Insta stories, an ad pops up and says, hey, did you know that you can use this AI bot to make tons of money as a side hustle? That's the difference in the two types of content, or the advertising methods. So the intent and the disruptive, and that has to match the marketing channel that you're planning to use. So for example, if you're creating intensive content, content that is going to be surrounded by, let me get this right. If you're creating content for a certain subject, that means it's going to be placed on a channel such as YouTube. If you're making it to disrupt someone's thought process, to capture their attention, then you need to be placing that on a different channel. So Instagram ads, for example. So that's one of the things that really highlighted some of the ways that I deliver my content, such as how you're getting this video now on YouTube. He's a good friend I made, Ollie. Really interesting business. Don't want to speak too much about it, but it was extremely interesting and grossing 6 figures a month completely passively, which absolutely blew my mind. Okay, so here we are. Here's another point, sales process. So this was really informative to me, because what I didn't understand when I was trying to build, or I'm trying to build an info product business, is how to actually go through that sales process. So if I was looking at my business in terms of cosmic camper vans, a sales process would be the customer ringing me or finding out about our business, contacting us via email, for example, getting a quotation from us, and then bringing the van to us completing the work, delivering the van back to them after sales. So there's a different step in every single one. So what I needed to learn when I went to this mastermind about info product business, what is the sales process? And this is what was highlighted to me, and something I needed to understand in depth, and that was how this works, this kind of funnel as such. So it's traffic, ads, social media, you're collecting someone's info, sending them into a VSL or information page, into a book a call. And these are all different types of, there's different types of funnels, obviously, which can all apply to different types of businesses. But one thing that also came out of this was how the guys who were doing huge numbers, 500K a month plus, how their funnels were working. And sometimes they would actually use like surveys or type form results to pre-qualify their submissions. And they would have 3 different available pages that came up depending on the results of the answers from these type forms. Because what a lot of people find, or people who have got courses, for example, they can often find time wasters on phone calls or booking calls. So if they haven't got a huge amount of intent, or they're not qualified from their own results or their own type form results, then they don't even get through to being able to make it a call, which is really interesting, because a lot of people I've noticed will just accept a call from anybody who wants to book one, but they reduce their call requirements by basically vetting them in the survey before. So they'd have one page which was for success, so if they had really good results from the person, they would be able to go to a page that will book a call. Second page is if they're medium, if they were okay but wasn't 100% a decent lead to contact, then there would be like a triage call, what's going on. And then the third page would be for someone that's not successful, and they wouldn't even be allowed to book a call because it's not, so that way they're not wasting a closer's time or time on a call, basically, which is really interesting, because I just thought most people just take every call possible, where it's not. When you get past a certain number and you're trying to scale, you need to reduce the amount of time wasting calls so you can actually attend the people who are in a position to buy, basically. And this was one as well, delaying the book a call button on the VSL. So what this does, it filters the leads and removes the low quality, low motivated leads who just want to find out information and waste time. It's kind of going back to this again, but a way to do this, another way, was to delay the book a call on the VSL. And that could be from anything 5 minutes or after the video started, or even right at the end. And I've seen this in a webinar before for another course. Is they basically delay any chance to book a call until you've actually watched the whole webinar, and that just filters out all the time wasters and the people who are not really serious, which is actually a really good way to run a business like this, in my opinion. So it was very interesting to learn that. Here's me chilling with a cigar on the yacht party on the Friday night. So on the Friday night, on the first day of the mastermind, we had a really good kind of like networking event on the yacht that Will had booked out, and loads of people turned up, and it was a great opportunity to meet with people, speak with other people who are in the industry. And this is kind of other part of the events that are very valuable, because sometimes it just needs one conversation with one person that you will end up learning something from that could change your whole trajectory in your business. Okay, next thing, solve one problem. So before going into this mastermind, I was thinking, how can I solve every problem for everybody, every person? And I was racking my brain to think of all these different solutions for all these different problems. And the guys that kind of looked over my ideas basically said, I don't need to solve every single problem that every single person has. I just need to solve one problem. Just solve one problem for one person or for many people, and sell them the solution, and then you've already done yourself a good service because you've solved that. And I agree with that, because sometimes that's all I needed in my business at some point. I just need to solve one problem. So if someone has said to me, if you could solve this problem, it's going to cost you 2K, for example, but it's going to make you 20K over the next 2 months because you've resolved it. Anyone who doesn't take that opportunity is just stupid. You will never have a successful business if you try to rely on yourself for every single thing. You've got to take advice at some point. You've got to learn the ropes or the direction where the kind of map of where you're going. So for this one, for example, it was for the trades course that I'm building. I should solve either labor or a time related problem. And I understood this because this is the problems that I went through in my business. This is why I can relate to the tradesmen and why I will be doing this. I can understand the problem of time more than anything. So I just need to solve one thing in how to reduce a tradesman's time dependency on their business. And that's how I'm effectively living my life out here in Thailand, is because I did the things that I was taught and I put them into place in my business, and it allows me to reduce my time input on my business so that I can actually live away from the location. Oh, where are we going? There we go. You must know your avatar intimately. So knowing the avatar was really important. They stress this more than enough, because basically this is important, because if you don't know your avatar, you're never going to know what marketing channel, how to sell to this person, what their pains are, what they're feeling every single day. And if you don't hit those pain points, you're never going to sell anything to anybody. So I have to research my avatar intimately, and that is basically what I'm doing now. I'm going through the process. I'm learning by speaking to tradesmen what their problems are, and already it's changing my ideas on what the problems that they're facing are. Now, a lot of them don't have a problem with making money. A lot of them don't have a problem with finding jobs. What their problems are is building a team to take over their roles, because they're always working all the time. They're just so drowned in work that they just can't organize their life properly. So I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't spoken to my kind of avatar and understand where they're actually struggling instead of what I think they're struggling with. Here's another point that Will made, was learning how to write sales copy is an invaluable skill for today's market. And so if you can master copywriting and knowing your avatar, so pairing these two together, you're going to make money, and that's the key. So that was really interesting to know. It's something I'm going to be taking up. I'm going to start reading about copywriting and sales copy, and it's something I've never done before. So it's a new journey in that aspect, and I really do need to get my skill up on that. So it's kind of like I'm completely at the bottom right now. I'm learning all these new different parts of different businesses completely from scratch, and it's like where I was at the very start of starting Cosmic Camper Vans 6 years ago. So it is an interesting journey that I'm going on right now. I'm learning lots of new skills, and just new different skills that are applied in the online world rather than fixing up camper vans. It's me and Jack. We were on the yacht. Great photo here. Really cool photo. We were chilling and chatting that day. It was so hot that day. Oh God, I don't know how people live in Dubai. I really don't get it, because that was just ridiculous. Relentless heat. Awful heat. It's hot in Thailand, but I tell you what, Dubai is another level. So, and I wanted to address this. Why in your right mind would you pay $18,000 for just 3 days? That's what someone asked me. All it takes, as I mentioned before, is one conversation with one of these people. These are guys who are doing huge numbers, like numbers that you probably wouldn't even be able to consider that are possible to making money. And yeah, I've basically come to the understanding that I need to invest my money to learn from these people, to network with these people, to understand their methods of thoughts, how they think about their decisions that they're making in their business. Because if I don't learn from people who are doing better than me, I'm just going to stay stagnant. And you have to invest your money to basically get to the next level. You cannot stay in one place and save your way to £1 million. This is why these are the points I made about this. Sometimes in life you have to risk it. You've just got to go for it and just see what happens. You might not get a return on investment, but it only takes that one small conversation, that one small new idea that could lead to what could bring you a huge fortunes in the future. And too many people think they're going to save their way to £1 million. That's never going to happen. You're never going to save your way to £1 million. How many people do you know realistically that are, without the increase of the property that they've had and the lucky property rise in the UK, you're just not going to do that. The whole system is designed so that you can't do that. Think about how many taxes, the bills, everything you pay. You're just going to be in the same position. The government and the system wants you to stay in the same position on purpose, because then you're trapped. You're trapped to pay taxes. You're not allowed to do all the good things. You have to go and do what they tell you, basically. So, and this is one thing, you must spend money to make money. Guys, if you're watching this video and you want to be more successful, spend more money on yourself, spend more money on investing in your knowledge, because that is how you will be able to get to that next stage in your business, or be able to get to the position that you want to be in. And I know I may go broke, but I will always have the knowledge and experience within me, no matter what. This $18,000 is not gone. It's not gone. It's in here. It's in my head. I know I've got the connections. I've spoken to these people. So you have to understand that's the value of it. And money isn't valuable. It's just a tool. Knowledge is what will make you rich. You cannot become rich without having this information. People who trade stocks, why do they do it? Because they've got knowledge. That's all about this. It's all about knowledge, guys, basically. Smoking a cigar with Mike Thurston. Another great photo. So these great photos. I mean, some great content from the whole weekend. So this slide's a little bit different. This is more about mindset. And let's put this out of the way. So I asked some questions, and also some of the other guests asked questions about mindset. And it seemed to be a reoccurring thing for guys who were doing big numbers. How do they maintain the motivation, the discipline, all these different things? And mindset became a big part of the conversation for some of the top guys. And something like Charlie said, at the start of the week, he'd journal all the things that's on his mind, and he'd pick 5 main things to get completed in the week. And that's exactly what I've started doing now at the start of the week. I've gone through here, I've got a nice pen and paper. I'm going through the things I've got in my head, because this is stuff I used to not really do. I had a little shorter form of that on a daily basis, but actually journaling what I got to get done for the week and picking 5 things, I have not done this before. So I'm putting into practice all the things I've learned at this mastermind as well. And then they would aim to get completed 1 or 2 things per day. And you must avoid burnout. And the way to do it is to have consistent daily momentum. And that's the stage I'm in right now as well. Discipline versus fun. If it's not fun, automate it or delegate it. Again, with my business now in Cosmic, what I'm doing now is I'm not finding the sales process fun anymore. I'm going to delegate it. I've hired someone to take over the whole sales process, and they're going to look after the business in that regard. And I incentivize that person to do well, and that will hopefully make the business money and the staff money as well. The 3 Ds: do it, delegate it, ditch it. So use this when making a decision of what tasks are taking up your time. Reverse the process and apply all the tasks. So basically, for example, if you've got a long list of tasks that you keep putting down on your list, you'll find that eventually, and I've done this again as many times, that there's certain tasks that just stay on the list all the time. You don't get around to it. It means it wasn't urgent. It wasn't important to do it. So you should either just ditch it or delegate it or do it. So that's the kind of like way to work around that list. Focus on that kind of mindset. And here's one: destination versus direction. So if you know the path, if you know the destination, I don't know why it's a typo, reverse engineer the path to get there. And you must have a clear destination in mind. and stick to it. So that was important because I know where I want to be in my life. I know what I want from my life, and I just have to reverse engineer how to get there. And once you know that direction, that destination, for example, then you know what you need to do. If you reverse engineer it, you know the steps that you need to take. So that was an important way to look at things. So you might be asking, who organized the mastermind? Because I got a lot of questions about this, and this is the gentleman here, William Brown. Now, I actually met Will in Dubai in May when I went out there with Jack for some other things, and we ended up having dinner on top of the Address Beach Resort, and we smoked a cigar together, and yeah, we just chatted and ended up connecting with him on Instagram, and noticed that he was doing this mastermind, and to be honest with you guys, this was a huge investment for me, because at the end of the day, I don't have an info product business. A lot of these people who were there at the mastermind, they were already doing 100k, 200k, some people doing £1 million a month, and they were looking to scale to £2.5 million a month, learning from Will's knowledge and expertise. So for me, it was a huge investment for a business model that I don't have already, but I knew I needed to learn the pathway, the gate, that I needed the key to unlock the gate to let me into this world. And the only way to do that was to pay my way in. That's basically the way I did it, and to basically accelerate that path as well. I didn't want to waste another 3 years of research and making mistakes. And that's the benefit. When you start to make some money, you can invest it and accelerate your progress in these things. So I decided to take the leap, and I just wanted to say a big shout out to Will, because he is probably, well, he's one of the most intelligent guys I've met, I'm not going to lie. Super intelligent, just the way he'd analyzes businesses and he set them up in terms of the info products was just huge for me. Now, Will's got a YouTube channel which he's also promoting now and putting lots of value out there, so make sure you go check that out. I'll show you that later on, anyway, just go check it out. His name's William Brown. Search it into Instagram, or there's a link actually in the description below on his webpage where you can go find this stuff out. And if you want to learn about the mastermind, then drop him a message, tell him I've sent you, come from this video, and I'm sure he'll be happy to help you out. It's a really interesting event. I learned so much from this event, so much, and now I'm working with Will as well. I've just working on his implementation pathway course on the trades course business that I'm doing. And guys, if you are interested actually in this this kind of stuff, what I'm actually doing is I'm putting this knowledge to use by creating a tradesman's course. So this is where I'm at the moment. So I'm in the iteration phase and thinking about the customer avatar, and I've just made a video on YouTube, or one of my previous videos you'll have seen is the episode 1, which was building a business in real life. So you can actually see me building this course business and coaching business in real time, and I'm just at the start. You won't have missed anything, because all I've done is gone to this mastermind, learned, and I'm starting it now. So I'm documenting the whole journey. And guys, it could be a success, it could be a massive failure, but you're going to see it in real time. I'm going to show you what it really is like to build a real business. So that's what I'm doing with it now. And yeah, head over to my YouTube if you want to see that kind of content. This is where it's at. Obviously you're on the YouTube now most likely, but please guys, drop us a subscribe and a like on this video if you're liking this stuff, if it's been helpful to you. Like I said, I'm not selling you anything here, just drop me a subscribe and a like, and I really would appreciate it. But yeah, that was basically the mastermind. Thanks for watching, and the top 5 things that I learned from this. I might make some more videos on this kind of content if you want to learn, if you want to know more stuff that I learned, because that was just probably 5% of what I learned. There's so much more. I've got a whole document on it. If you do, then drop me a comment or drop me a message, and I'll see if I make another video. Until next time guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.